We'll call to order the Wednesday, May 7th, 2025 City of Solon regular council meeting. That will start with the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Duncan. Here. Arnold. Here. Gabriel. Here. Kramer is absent tonight.
Here.
Civility pledge. We pledge to promote civility by listening, being respectful of others, and acknowledging that we are all striving to support and improve our community. Looking to perfecting, approve the agenda campaign tonight.
I'll move to perfect and approve the agenda.
Duncan.
Yes.
Arnold.
Yes.
Gabriel.
Yes.
Whitehead.
Yes.
Next is citizen speak. This is time for anybody in the audience that would like to speak on a non-agenda item. Is there anybody this evening? That we'll look to consent the agenda. So this would be approval of the minutes from the April 16th regular meeting, along with the April 23rd special meeting, approval of the list of bills, the treasurer's report and transfers, building permits, and beer and liquor licenses. We had two, one for the Legion and one for Casey's at 203 South Market.
Any problems with those liquor licenses, Dan? No concerns.
I'll move to consent the agenda.
I'll second.
Duncan?
Yes.
Harlan?
Yes.
Gabriel?
Yes.
Whitehead.
Yes.
Next takes us to the fire department report. We do have our agency meeting a week from tonight, so I'll have better updates at the next council meeting there. Sheriff's office report, anything that you have for us?
Nothing to add unless you guys have any questions of me.
So nice open house that we had on Saturday.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next, public works director report. Jamie.
Yeah, wanted to start with welcoming Matt Noss to Public Works. He started on Monday. And so glad to have him on board. Wanted to give a shout out to Public Works staff, the students of this community and the scouts, because Earth Week in Solon really hit home. We got a grant that Scott applied for of 64 trees. And along with just a lot of tree planting and mulching and a lot of work by Public Works, this community's been transformed and it's going to be a lasting legacy. So really a shout out to the whole community. In addition, Chris has been working hard, Chris Richardson, on getting some trees moved. There's a nice tree line that's been established along the youth soccer fields. So those are going to be a welcome addition, a nice windbreak, provide some shade too. And also, speaking of trees, both Beef Days and Solon Area Community Foundation have contributed to some tree planting to keep the momentum going, take advantage of the planting season. And Chris is working on coordinating that as well. So really just awesome progress in our parks and in the trees. Wanted to mention that brush pickup has started for the season on Mondays. And we are currently in burn season. So it's Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays until from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. for folks that want to burn. And Timber Dome is open. We have events are kicking up, and we also are hosting a tournament down, not hosting, we're helping host a tournament that the school's putting on as a fundraiser. I'm not sure. There's a fundraiser for the school. It's a tournament. It's going to be at Legion and our fields this weekend. Also, tomorrow, there's a couple poles at the SRNA that need switched out. Remember the pole that fell at the school? We had our poles evaluated. We know there's two that need replaced. Scott coordinated a lot of things before he left to get the poles from Alliant, who got them from ITC. who, we've been working with SIPCO to actually get those in because they're too big of poles for Alliant to set for us like we originally thought they could. All that's been coordinated with E&J switching lights. It's gonna happen tomorrow morning, so glad to have that, that project done and ensure safety down at the parks with those poles. And, also wanted to, well 3, I just got a call from the insurance agent this afternoon. They're sending me over their report, so by next meeting, I should have an idea of what they're gonna, what kind of coverage we're gonna have on that. And then, Dave Richards and Chris Richardson are here. Anything to add? That's all for Public Works.
Next, library report. Liz?
Yes, we were awarded a second ALA Libraries Transforming Communities grant in the amount of $10,000, again, focused on accessibility. We're thrilled to have this opportunity again to continue to make our library spaces and programs and resources more accessible for our community. One of the requirements is that we hold a community conversation. So we will be holding that on Wednesday, May 21st at 9 a.m. Our grant proposal, we focused on people with mobility disabilities. And that can be a temporary disability. Maybe you have crutches, maybe you use a wheelchair, maybe you have a walker, a cane, any number of items that might cause you to have struggles when you're moving. That was our focus and our population that we're working with. And we would really like to get as much input as possible from anybody who has ever experienced that. So that will be 9 a.m. in our meeting room on Wednesday, May 21st. We'll have snacks and coffee. That will lead directly into our normal chair yoga program, which anybody who comes is welcome to stay for. That's a great opportunity as well, but want to get as much feedback as possible. We also have an online survey that you can fill out online if you're not able to attend. We'll have paper copies in the library. Just want to get as much feedback as possible so that we can make the best decisions for how we spend these funds. Our proposal was that we would make our 2 restroom doors, which are incredibly heavy, accessible with the buttons. And that will help someone in those situations, but also those families with strollers or little ones trying to get in and out. So that's our plan. But again, if the feedback we get from the community says, oh no, actually, this is more important to us, we'll switch gears and we can file an interim report and change that. So really excited about that. We will be closed on Monday, May 26th for Memorial Day. And then Friday, last day of school in Solon at 6 o'clock on the 30th, we'll have our kickoff party for summer reading. We'll have our foam machine, we'll have sprinkler, outdoor games, popsicles and popcorn. And this is also the chance to pick up then the summer reading slips. Our summer reading program will run from June 1st till July 31st, and it is all ages. So be sure to keep that in mind. We intentionally design programs and purchase prizes for all ages. So don't think, oh, this is just a kid's thing. It truly is everyone, and we want to see you all at the library this summer.
Thanks, Liz. City engineer report. Dave?
He let me know right before the meeting that he had a unexpected family situations.
Kevin, anything? This is to our proclamation for the declaration of May as Older Americans Month. This will be followed up with the Senior of the Year at next the meeting in 2 weeks from now. So as far as the proclamation goes, whereas the city of Solon is home to citizens aged 60 years older, whose experiences and wisdom connect us to the past and help us meet the challenges of the future. And whereas older citizens of the city of Solon are representative of an unprecedented trend in the nation's demographic makeup. And whereas older persons are diverse, respected citizens who continue to contribute to our nation's social and economic well-being as they live longer, healthier, and more productive lives, many even starting second careers. And whereas America grows older, each community must strive to understand and address the evolving challenges and needs of our older citizens and the people who care for them. And whereas the opportunities and challenges that lie ahead require us to think differently about health and long-term care and work together to ensure that older Americans can age strong, long, and with dignity. And whereas the city of Solon wishes to join the celebration to honor the seniors of Johnson County and to encourage them to age strong, live long. Now, therefore, I, Dan O'Neill, Mayor of City of Solon do hereby claim the month of May as Older Americans Month. And as I said, we'll follow that up with the senior of the year at the next meeting. Moving down to new business, Solon School of Lakeview Elementary West parking lot site plan. Kenny?
Yes, thank you. Planning and zoning looked at the site plan, at their last meeting last week, and, a little bit of the backstory here. So the school is planning to do both an east and a west parking lot upgrade. They've decided to go with, two separate site plans. So before the planning and zoning last week was just the west parking lot. They are looking to improve parking, improve bus flow, and they're shifting the entrance by the softball entrance over. Again, it's designed to improve parking, traffic flow, safety. Lacey Lamp is online here. She is with Fair Graham. She's the engineer for the school. And there were no major issues with the submitted site plan. Dave Schekinger asked for some additional information just to verify that the bus could make those turns on that new entrance. And they provided that, so he didn't have any other concerns. He wanted me to share with you that though he planned to be here tonight, he didn't have any concerns with the council going ahead and approving the site plan. And then at a later time, they'll bring the east parking lot site plan through planning and zoning and council. And again, Lacey is here online if you have any questions.
Any questions for Lacey or Lacey, anything that you'd like to add to that?
No, Cami did a wonderful job explaining kind of what was going on. One thing that I can add to this project is that this is likely going to be split up into 2, maybe 3 different alternates, just trying to keep within budgets and everything else. Obviously, the most important part is just having that bus lane right in front of the building. And so that would be the critical aspect of this project. And then as funding would allow, I think the next alternate to be considered would be the driveway replacement. So obviously right now it kind of curves out away from the parking lot. And so this new driveway would create a straight entrance for the buses to turn right into that southerly parking lot and then maneuver a little bit easier rather than taking a few different turns. So we're just trying to help circulation and, add some spaces for buses to stack and a little bit of a safer situation. So I'm here with any questions.
Kids. They do this when our kids are little.
With that, do we have a motion to approve the site plan?
I'll move to approve the site plan for Solon Lakeview Elementary School West parking renovation.
I'll second.
Doug?
Yes.
Harlan?
Yes.
Gabriel? White?
Yes.
That takes us down to item 16, the equipment purchase.
So the budget for FY26 had a new F-150 truck. And so we had that on our radars. We're heading into the next fiscal year, and the public works staff got together and kind of talked about that strategy and really what was the best need and what would that truck serve in the fleet. And based on their recommendation and discussion, they wanted to go to F-250. And so Chris is our fleet and vehicle lead, did a little research and found this vehicle over in Junkie. Here and Brian Seaver went and looked at it. This is the vehicle they're recommending rather than the F-150. They feel that the heavier truck just is better suited for the day-to-day needs of the department. Anything you guys want to add?
We previously ordered that last truck, service truck through Junkie, so Nick Strasser just contacted him and he
made us a really good deal on this, got us close to where our budget number was, so. I think it's gonna fit our needs best and be a good purchase.
Will this be incremental or is this replacing one of the trucks that we have currently?
It was a replacement, for my truck, we're kind of the oldest, yeah, we're gonna shuffle. Maybe to a different truck that's more suited for his needs for the water, wastewater, and this would be more of, general public works. And with it being an F-250, it meets the needs of all of public works instead of just a specific purpose, so.
And, Chris was able to find a good price that came in at really what we had budgeted for the F-150. So rather than wait and maybe not have this deal here in July, the recommendation is that we move forward with this purchase.
I appreciate the research and everything.
Yeah, you bet. I'll move to purchase the F-250.
Duncan?
Yes.
Farlinger?
Yes.
Gabriel?
Yes.
Whitehead?
Yes.
Takes item 17, ordinance 491, water rate ordinance.
Yeah, so, we begin in May with our, meter, our water meter and sewer rate ordinances because it takes 3 readings and we want these to be ready, published and effective for that July billing, so we need to start now. The council approved a 2% water increase during budget, and so that's what this ordinance reflects. This will go into effect July 1st. And both Heidi Kuhl and Kevin Olson have reviewed them and said they're good to go. So this will be the first reading.
Questions or comments on it?
I'll move to approve ordinance 491.
Duncan?
Yes.
Farlinger?
Yes.
Gabriel? Whitehead?
Yes.
Takes item 18, ordinance number 492, sewer rate or ordinance.
Yeah, this one's a little more complicated. So along with the 2% increase that was council approved at budget time, this also has that step increase in both the sewer debt fee from $10 to $15, and it adds a new debt service usage fee of $5 per month per account. If you recall during the budget sessions with Heidi, the user fee is intended as the steps are implemented over the next few years to not negatively impact the minimum users. So as we go forward with steps, council's going to have the ability to control how the minimum users are affected, rather than lump this all into one fee. So that's why they're separated. For this first initial implementation, the schedule has that everyone is, the $5 is applied to all the accounts. And then going forward, council can regulate that based on usage.
This is one of the steps as we get ready to take on the largest project that we will have, probably in the city's history as far as the new wastewater treatment on that. So appreciate all the legwork done on this. We have a motion for ordinance number 492.
I'll second.
Duncan?
Yes.
Farlinger?
Yes.
Gabriel?
Yeah.
Whitehead?
Yes.
Takes item 19, resolution number 2522, wage resolution. Tammy?
Yeah, so this wage resolution impacts, new public works employee, and we've also had, public works seasonal, staff step up and help in the transition, as well as recreation seasonal, staff. And so this, just adjust those rates for those salaries accordingly. Many of these were planned in July. We just implemented them sooner because we needed the help and we appreciated the help.
Questions or comments?
On the resolution.
I'll second.
Duncan?
Yes.
Farlinger?
Yes.
Gabriel?
Yes.
Whitehead?
Yes.
Takes us to other business, so council committees, streets.
I had a stop sign request at a recent meeting. I shared my thoughts with John and Andrew on that. And then Dan had received another request for a stop sign here at the sheriff's substation open house. So those are just gonna be ongoing conversations, and if the committee wants to take any action on an agenda, they just need to let me know. Also, the TEEP grant, or the TEEP award, I guess, is for 150 hours of traffic engineering hours, funded by DOT. That is something that we prepared a letter and sent it to the DOT. We were granted that funding, and which is great because this is for the intersection of Chapel and Highway 382 at Lakeview Elementary. And as the school is getting ready to do their work in that area, we know that needs to be some changes in the area, and this is going to give us the guidance to figure out really what is the best way to approach the Elm Chapel and Highway 382 intersection. This is a situation where we only got about a month left of school, so we really need that school data. So I asked the DOT if we could expedite the process, and they did. So we're hoping to get some data here before school's out, because that's really what we need. We need that in-school data to really be able to understand that intersection. So that was awesome news. That's all for Streets Committee. Utilities Committee met with McBride Point via Zoom. I have 521, was actually 421. And so basically, as they are inching closer through their application process to formally request connection to the GAW line, the staff have been working with them for some time. Utilities Committee took some time to really understand how the backside underworkings of all this are gonna go. And so we're still gathering some information. We'll bring that back to the full council. The Utilities Committee wanted to make sure the full council had a good understanding before there were any formal agreements brought before the council. So I expect that will be here in the next month or so. We also had a meter forgiveness request for the Utilities Committee, and that's really spurred some good conversation and direction from the Utilities Committee as a way that we can provide a better social services for residents who are struggling with an unexpected water bill, and how we can be service and a resource and provide direction. So good things to come out of that. Finance Committee has been looking at the loader and track loader quotes. So we're on a 5-year lease with both the loader and the track loader, and those are up in September. But we have to start now with the paperwork and getting those orders so that they're ready for September. So we got the initial spec sheets about a month ago. Public Works has looked at those, and the quotes reflect what Public Works have requested. Sent those over to the Finance Committee. It really just shows what the lease payment is, what the traded amounts are going to be. So once we approve those quotes, then that generates the actual lease agreements, which will come before the council. One thing to note is the Public Works Department did want to upgrade from a 908 to a 910, which definitely impacts the price on a wheel loader. But that's what the department wanted, was the larger piece. In addition, the Finance Committee, I just sent over some new quotes. We got some CDs coming up here this week, so I just sent over some updates for them. Personnel Committee, we have many job openings. That committee is going to meet here tonight after this meeting. And then finally, on the SRNA agreement, that committee met after the last special meeting on the 23rd. We got a few items to send back to the school for requests, but I think we're real close on that project. That's all I got on committees.
All right. Thank you for all. It's the city clerk report, Susan. Tammy, any city administrative comments?
I do, and I'm gonna start with, it's city clerk week. And I blew that. I always get it on the agenda and I blew it. So my apologies to city clerk Susie Seidel. And so, I knew it. I just, when I put the agenda together, and so because I blew it, I wanted to surprise her tonight with just a little something about why I think we have one of the best city clerks in Iowa. And, so starting with the CN clerk, Susie cares like really no one I've ever known. She truly cares about the people in this community. She cares about her coworkers, and she has a big heart. Elle, she is well liked. I can't tell you how many times I answer the phone or somebody walks in and they're disappointed that it's not Susie. Like, oh, like, where is Susie? Everybody wants Susie. Everybody loves her. Experience, Susie's going on 19 years as our city clerk this year. Very amazing. The residents. She cares about the residents. She goes the extra mile for the residents day in and day out. Quite amazing. And K is for kind. She is really one of the most thoughtful people that I know. So, and on our city clerk week, I just wanted to take a moment to recognize city clerk, our city clerk Susie. No. A couple other things, Board of Adjustment is meeting on the 20th of this month. They have a variance request for a deck on a house. Planning and zoning is going to meet on the 27th. We've got the preliminary plat for Harvest Acres out on Highway 1. The warning siren got delayed by one day because it was cloudy, so siren didn't go off today. It will go off tomorrow at 10 a.m. I mentioned the TEEP approval already. Cleanup day's been scheduled for August 9th. And Dan and I were alerted that Johnson County is moving forward with a housing study. I don't know if you remember, we got something from B back in December where we kind of were questioning what was it about? Well, it's a housing study that the county's moving forward with. And they've asked to meet with Dan and staff. And so we'll schedule some dates and kind of figure out kind of what they're needing from us. Also wanted to give a shout out to Beef Days, Women's Club and Lions Club. All have committed funds to the new sand playground where the volleyball court was, the big square of sand, and Brody's been going around drumming up funds from area groups to get some sand equipment in there so the kids have somewhere to play. So shout out to all those groups for their donations. So we're gonna get some equipment ordered and hopefully have a new sand playground this summer. Yeah, thank you.
Mayor Thompson just touched on it during the sheriff's office report, but it was nice showing it the open house. The substation started to, but been open what, a couple years?
I know.
Over a year, so it's very nice addition for it. Next, that takes us to the closed session. So we have closed session pursuant to Iowa Code Chapter 21.51C to discuss strategy with counsel and matters that are presently in litigation or where litigation is imminent, where its disclosure would be likely to prejudice or disadvantage the position of the governmental body in that litigation, and pursuant to chapter code, Iowa Code Chapter 21.5J, allowing for closed session regarding real estate transaction. So
But go out to the rain, people.
do we have a motion to go into closed session?
I'll move to go into closed
I'll
session.
shut it
I'll
off
second.
in just a
All right,
second.
Duncan?
and then
Yes.
just go.
Marty?
Yes.
Gabriel?
Yes.
White.
Yes.
All right, we will be going into closed session.